What's up you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your local problematic Leo, and today on a very interesting installment of Dressed to Kill, the full Monty, we're going to be addressing DE pandering to all of the Loki lovers out there. And let me tell you, the new Dante Unbound update just feels so chocked full of things that are directed directly at me that I'm just like foaming at the mouth. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I wasn't planning on making this video, but it's the only thing that I've been able to think about since the news has been released. So in DE's latest dev workshop, they actually go through some quality of life changes that are coming up, several of which are going to be specifically addressing Loki lovers. Now, for those of you guys who are completely unaware, there's going to be a new augment that is actually coming out for Loki, again with his decoy, but basically decoy is going to be castable on an enemy. The enemy is going to draw fire from the surrounding enemies, and I guess there's going to be status effects involved, like every enemy that hits it has a status effect, and there's supposed to be an explosion or something. I don't know how it goes, but it sounds more interesting than what decoy is now. But in addition to that, we're getting some very interesting quality of life changes and change for all fashionistas that absolutely love invisibility frames. So let's take a look at these changes right now. Then we're going to go ahead and jump into the full Dressed to Kill, where we're going to be addressing all of the different outfits that I've put together for him. Anyway, so, Loki ability changes. Decoy also now draws 15% of the health and shields totals from enemies within a base of 15 meters, scaling with ability, strength, and range, respectively. This should make Decoy much more useful in higher level missions, as it can survive a lot more exposure to enemy attacks. So this is great for Decoy. I'm not going to be using Decoy like this. I'm going to be using it with a new augment. But it's a nice change. It's a change that's, you know, kind of coming down the pipe from a long time ago, because that decoy does not survive if you're just using it as it is now. Now, additionally, Switch Teleport will no longer root you in place after the teleport, and will now grant you a short burst of movement speed at 50% increased speed for 5 seconds, scaled by strength and duration. Am I happy about this? I'm happy about the not being locked down, but I hate increased movement speed. I wish it turned into anything else, like attack speed, weapon buff. I don't know. Just give me something else. But you know what? I know that there are some people out there that really love using Loki for like speed runs. You know, they just want to blaze through a mission, so this is perfect for them. And you know, it's a nice. The not being locked down after that instant switch is much nicer. Let's go ahead and move into the quality of life changes that affect all of the stealth frames out there. As you can see right here, Arsenal quality of life change customization for invisible Warframes. Warframes now have invisibility customization. No longer will you have to be strictly transparent. One thing that I do want to point out here, I do not believe this changes what we've referred to as piss vision. So piss vision is still definitely going to be there. You can actually get out of that, and also the hysteria vision if you guys are avid Valkyrie users, by turning off color correction in your display settings. Mine is turned off, and I do believe it like changes a lot of other things in the environment too, but I use Loki a lot, so I turned off that ages ago. With Warframes with invisibility, Loki, Alvara, Ash, Octavia, and Varuna, you will now find customization options in their auxiliary attachment menus. Instead of invisibility being strictly see-through, players can customize it from being more translucent / semi-transparent to non-transparency with an energy glow gleaming from your character. Invisibility colorization is affected by the primary energy color of your Warframe, should you select a choice that is affected by coloring. So option A is semi-transparent, which I don't know, maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. And then there is option B, non-transparent with a glow. Me personally, I would be cool with like a slider. If you could just slide it up and down and just be like, ooh, more transparency, less energy glow, less transparency, more energy glow. You know, but I mean, listen. I will not look a gift horse in the mouth. Anyway, all of these changes definitely make me a happy boy. I can't wait to actually see them in game, but of course this means that Rob went through and tweaked some of his old Loki customizations. The classics are still the classics, however you are going to see them with Signas and Ephemera, because I don't think I did that all the time. But without ado, let's get dressed. Okay, so just a quick reminder for anybody who's a little bit newer to the channel or does not know how my customization videos work. All of the customization codes are going to be down in the description box below. R stands for row, C stands for column. There's a really interesting thing that's been going on around lately where people are saying that they're not getting the exact same colorization that I'm getting here. I'm trying to investigate it, but if you take a look at my previous settings video, literally nothing has changed. I have done nothing, and it still looks the way that it looks right now, but maybe I'll address that in a future video. So, as you can see right here, this is like the classic Loki look for me. This has been my long time running, and of course this is going to be the Kodama skin by, oh my god, Hitsu-san. I got worried there for a second. Hitsu-san, one of the things about him is he is very notorious for making the colorization on his frames hard to F up. In fact, he has changed shaders and changed the way that certain textures take colors. But of course, for the hyper creatives out there, it does become a little frustrating because you want a little more control than what is available to you. But you know what? I managed to make it work. It's a beautiful skin. I love the helmet. And you know what? The helmet with the new Signa, so sexy. So let me go ahead and take off some of the attachments here so that it's not so extremely in your face. I was running this with what I think it was like, not Gloriana, but it was Gloriana. Look at that. I remember the name. I was running it with Gloriana for a while, but I really, really like, you guys know, I love the look of the Sapphire. So that's what I'm leaving it as right now. But let's take that off just so that we can kind of take a look at it. Look at him. It just feels good. I love how his fingies are like that metallic red color. Oh, it just makes me happy in my soul. And also, this is what I like to call a statement, an understatement. You don't always have to put on every piece of armor, and I think that a lot of people, especially when they're customizing, oh my god, it's very early. I've only made it like a half of a way through my coffee, less than half actually. So if I sound a little wonky, that's why. But you don't always have to put on every single piece of armor. You can just let your coloration stand, and you can just toss on an ephemera to give it the vibes, you know? So we always go with Officium, and then we have got our Kiro Signa, because that's just how it is. And one of the things that I try to steer myself away from sometimes with Loki is keeping the energy red. I like red. So I feel like Loki definitely like resonates with me, so that's why I tend to go red. So moving on from the classic look, this is actually one of my favorite looks, and let me tell you right now, ooh, it's not what you think it is. That's right, we are moving in to the Loki Erebus skin. I love me a good skin. I think this is by Walrus? No, Volbjorn. There are two very good, what is it called? Tenogen skin creators that make these kind of infested skins. So let me go ahead and take off the attachments. As you can see right here, we are using the Spore Ephemera, and that leaves this kind of like sickening trail of infestation. But even there, you can just see the textures and how glorious he looks. It's strange because I'm looking at him this way. This is not the usual, what is it called? This is not the usual stance I have for this one, but I kind of wanted everything to be uniform. Usually it's the, where is it called? The Necros Noble, I think. See, do you see how that kind of changes the feel completely? There's something about a good stance, but I also feel like I'm wrong and it was the Mesa one. But it's a very similar stance, just a slightly different attitude. That's why I'm like, I can feel like this is not right. It's like that. There you go. That slight slouch right there, that is what I ended up using. When we talk attachments, I did want to go ahead and put on the Envine Signa, just because I feel like it has that kind of like weird organic-y look, and it kind of looks like spores are coming out of the top as well. I do have the Embolist armor on him, except I did go ahead and swap out one of the shoulder pieces for the Proto-Somid shoulder guard. That's the one thing that I will say about the Infested look. Literally, Cyandona's, shoulder pieces, chest piece, all of those, you can really switch in and out, just because of the fact that they just have this great bioorganic look. Also note, I did leave the chest section out, and I believe it was on purpose because I did not want to block, the, what do you call this? What is that? The chest thing, the chest light up thing, sigil? I don't know what it's called, sigil? I'm gonna say sigil. So for those of you guys who are curious about the sigil, it is the Unity sigil, and this actually comes from the, I think, top tier of Conclave. So go ahead and rack up your points, and then you can go ahead and see that. I'm gonna go ahead and toss back on the ephemera spore. Look, I'm gonna be a good boy, and I'm gonna look it up, so I hope you guys are proud of me. But it kind of looks like he's peeing dirty water on the ground. It's weird. This is very strange to me. Anyway, let's move on. For those of you guys who remember, there was an animation. I think it was the MASH animation. This is actually the look that I used there, and this used to be my old default Loki look, because this one, great deluxe skin. We have the Knave skin. Look at him. He looks so good. Oh my god, it's like a nice revisit, because when I actually had him like done up, he had no ephemera, he had no Signa, so it's nice to kind of like have it put back on. So this is actually Loki Deluxe, and it's the Loki Deluxe armor as well. I believe it's the Holta look. It's just one letter off. Interesting thing about this that I do have to say, for the Hulta armor set, you will have to rotate some of the colors, mainly because of the fact that, and this is the thing that makes me crazy when DE does it, not all of the parts take colors the same way. Like, you can tell that there is some sort of like texture mapping that happened, like there's a discrepancy there and it's not matching all the way. This, of course, is a mixed metal look, and I did say that this kind of reminded me of a Kirin. But, of course, that Kiro Signa sits perfectly on Loki's horns. I absolutely love it. Oh my god, I should have called this all of the Loki variants, because these are really the Loki variants. And we went in with the Gloriana, and you can actually see Gloriana Ephemera. And then you can actually see a little bit of that Unity sigil up front. And for those of you guys wondering, this is not pure black. This is actually I believe like a chocolatey dark brown. When it catches the light, you can actually see some of that warmth come out. I think I'm notorious for not using ever just a pure white or a pure black, unless it is very intentional, because of the fact that I like to see some tonality when it catches the light. This is also not the stance that I usually have him in. He is usually in, I wanted to make everything like uniform, but now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't feel quite right, because this is not the stance that I usually have him in. You'll actually catch him in either the Limbo Noble stance or the Mirage Noble stance, which, you know, like, you just gotta get back to it. All right, now the last two that I'm gonna show you are, how do I put this? They're thoughts, but they're not necessarily fully fleshed out thoughts. This is like if an artist put out a demo, but, you know, they weren't sure if they were going to add, you know, somebody else into the tracks, or if they were going to do additional harmonies. They're a little rougher around the edges, but I still enjoy them a lot. So this one, for those of you guys who have been in on the Twitch drops, Twitch Prime Arsenal, I don't know what it's called, but it's the Twitch stuff. So this is actually the set that you get from there. It's called the Verve set, and there's like a, what is it called? There's an ephemera that comes along with it too. And as you can see right here, this is a very different take on Loki. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not like the helmet. There's something about that helmet that highly upsets me, but I actually fixed it with the Signa. So this is, how do I put this? This part of it is kind of like a reminder that when I like to use armors or when I like to put on Signas, I like to do it to change the shape of things. That's why I don't necessarily love putting on a ton of armor unless I'm trying to intentionally reshape the frame's build. So as you can see right here, I did go ahead and put on the Imugi set, which I think actually looks really, really well with this. I feel like he's got a little bit more metallic than he does in the base skin. I could be completely wrong about that, but this does bring out more of that metallic. And then we put on the Mag Heirloom Signa because, hold on, I'm going to turn off the Verve Ephemera so you can see it without that. And as you can see, I do like that little energy effect on the helmet. I actually think it's pretty cool. But the Heirloom Signa, it's weird. It just feels like there's not enough it's very plain. It's just, it needs more zhuzh, and it makes me very upset. So to fix the zhuzhing, I went ahead and tossed on this one. Now I'm sure this looks really, you know, it kind of does. It's fine. You know, it's fine, but in all reality, it is really the Mag Heirloom Signa that kind of like rounds out the shape. So again, really good at altering the shape of things. In fact, I really like how swoopy it is in conjunction with how swoopy the chest piece is. Always love that chest piece from the Imugi set. Let's go ahead and add on the ephemera. Look, you guys, I'm making changes. I'm literally searching things up. It's not going to last long. Don't get used to it. So this is my take on the Verve set. I did try to play around with some of the different colors, but this is where I like landed. Now, this last look, and I always have a look like this for all of my primed Warframes. I like to keep a coloration that is very similar to the original and still has some of the original. Because if you notice, all of the other Loki looks that I've had are not very, like, they don't pull from the prime, right? So I like to have one that pulls from the prime, and this is it. So this is, of course, like a mix. It's the Incubus skin, and what's it? That's by Kaz and Volkovii. So we have that there, and I went ahead and turned on the prime details. The issue with the prime details is sometimes on some of the Tenogen skins, the texture doesn't match. And I would have actually been willing to maybe put the prime skin on the, first, the Incubus, not the Incubus skin, what is the Kodama skin? The Kodama skin, I was actually willing to try to put it on there, but the texture was just too off. So I wanted to find a Tenogen skin that actually worked with this. And I don't know what it is, but it feels like the Kitsune tails just fit this one a little bit better. It's a little bit more whimsical and frisky. And this is actually one of my favorite armor sets that is, what's you call this? Corpus based. The Sorex, I love it. I love how it's got the little prongs that are energied. And this kind of looks like, I don't know, some sort of Corpus helmet stuck on your knees. It's like you need someone in the head and it's stuck to you. And I don't know what it is, but I feel like Loki out of all of, well, not out of all of the frames, but if he were to pick a side, he would probably pick the side of the Corpus. Don't know why. But I am a big fan of the Incubus helmet. I always thought it looked really, really good. So that, along with the little dangly bits up top from the Mag Signa, I don't know. I think it's a nice homage, without being way, without being way too far off from the original. Like, you tweaked the original and you made it your own, but it's also kind of sort of there. So that is it when it comes to all of my Loki looks. That is the full Monty. It used to be called the full wardrobe, and I was like, why am I calling it the full wardrobe when I have access to the full Monty? So that about does it for this. Let me know how you guys are feeling about Dante Unbound. If you guys have been inspired to take on all of your invisibility frames now that you're able to kind of sort of see them. I'm going to be honest with you. I was looking at my frame in the middle of a mission. I was too busy shooting things and slicing and dicing things, so I wasn't really mad about being invisible. And I, turned off piss vision when it came to all of, all of that. So nothing, I was pretty unbothered when it came to it, but it's a nice little bonus, and I'm happy that we're getting little bits and pieces here from DE to update all of the invisibility. Now, does it make me love the game in its current state completely? No, but it's something, right? You gotta take the wins where you can. Regardless, leave your feelings down in the comments below. Let me know if there's any other frames you want me to tackle. Varuna, I believe, is next. But also, we are getting very close to Dante Unbound, so Varuna might get pushed back even more. Sorry, Varuna. Anyway, that about does it for me for now, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.